Hello, beautiful beings. This is Gypsy Jess with your Art of Tarot. And I'm excited to read for you today in my new studio, which you cannot see, but I'm very happy with. So it's just kind of a nice, lovely, peaceful place for me. And hopefully it will help facilitate more readings. But for now, I just want to get a general reading, see what we need to know, and hopefully get back from there. Now, what you're listening to in the background is a tune that is intended to call you back to yourself. It's about soul retrieval, so maybe that has something to do with today. We've got a little tiger's eye on our tarot deck. We're using the Tarot Grand Lux, and we'll use a few oracle cards. I'm going to use the Animal Spirit Guidebook, Wild Woman Oracle, and the Shamanic Healing Oracle, just as basics, and then we'll maybe expand from there. So while I shuffle, go ahead and take a nice big deep breath and allow yourself to settle into whatever space you're at. Be careful if you are driving. Know that I am not a medical doctor, and I am a counselor in training, but all topics that come up should go through a professional if that is needed. Magician right off the bat. I love it. I love this already. We have a creator. Before I was starting, I kept hearing Adelaide. I don't know if that's a name, or maybe that movie has something, or it's not the name of the movie, but there's a movie where the character is Adelaide. Anyway, I digress, but that name kept coming up. But what I was going to ask you to do is allow yourself to be open to any signs, symbols, synchronicities, animals, names that might help create a confirmation for you. Okay, now we have the Magician, a creator right off the bat. Ooh, cool. Zero. Oh, wow. Powerful new beginnings here. Wow. Lots of creative energy. The Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles. This is a strong earth mother vibration. Strength. What a beautiful spread already. I'm very excited. The Devil, interesting. Everything in the upright too. Now don't worry so much about the Devil. It's not always a bad card. It can be about earthly things and being of the earth, right? As our pentacles are, so. Swords. All right, we're gonna leave that right there, bottom of the deck. World. Okay, I'm gonna grab some oracle cards. We've got the lion, an owl, fox, rabbit, several birds, cardinal, butterfly if you're looking for animal symbology there. This card, I don't know if any of you are Dracula fans, but it makes me think of Bram Stoker's Dracula, Gary Oldman, his character. I love that movie. I love a good tragic monster romance. And here I immediately thought of Beauty and the Beast for some reason. So maybe we have a tragic monster romance on our hands here. But those are the first two thoughts that came through. Now, from our Wild Woman Oracle, we have Peace of the Goddess, Inner Peace. Let's a little check here. Make sure we're in our frame. Inner High Priestess, so a lot of inward. 1434, Divine Service, Inner Peace. Pull one more here. Season of the Witch, Magic. So we have the Magician and season of the witch coming up. And before I pull anything else, I really feel like I'm speaking to someone who is beginning to tap into their own power, or recognize their own power, perhaps has recognized it in the past, but it's allowing it to come to the forefront. Let's get some animal spirit oracles. This is a really powerful, beautiful energy here. I'm loving it. Crocodile. Look at that. That eye kind of looks like our stone right there. It also looks like the orb there. So I don't know if those colors mean anything to you. That yellowish gold. We've got more yellow here. Some confidence. You know, yellow is that kind of lower central chakra. Swan. Beautiful. These are really beautiful. I'm going to pull just a couple of the shaman oracle here because I think this is really amazing energy right now. I love it. I'm speaking to someone who's incredibly powerful, which tends to be my viewers anyway. The ones that stick with me anyway, as I go far and few between readings. I always try, but I have to be refreshed in a good space to do it. Changes. Like I said at the beginning, a new cycle, a new beginning. One more. Ooh. Slow but steady. Slow but steady. Okay. So like I said, right off the bat, I'm speaking to someone who is incredibly powerful and grounded to the earth. We have several pentagrams coming up here, and while this is, you know, associated with paganism, with witches, it's also a symbol of abundance, right? The coin, the five-sided star, which relates to several religions. It's also as above, so below, right? Those two interconnected triangles, and the masculine and the feminine. The arrow pointing up is for the masculine, the arrow pointing down is for the feminine. So with the magician and the witch coming up here, I also am speaking to someone who's extremely balanced in that masculine feminine energy. And when I say that, it's regardless of what your physical body engenders. This is inner energy. And this is a powerful creator, creatrix, who is definitely at the beginning of something new. And we see that with the oracle cards, the changes. And in our slow but steady, we have that sacred spiral on the back of the turtle shell. You know, relates to Fibonacci code, and what's in the microcosm is the same as the macrocosm, an expansion. And it's also that cycle of coming back around as a more evolved being on this planet. And I believe that I am speaking to a spiritually evolved being, someone who truly understands the power of their thoughts and their words, and the ability of that to create around them. Now, with this as well, I also see someone who's overcoming or embodying a strength to overcome perhaps the 3D nature of the world. And what I mean there is someone who's, you know, deeply connected and emotional. Like, this is your green thumb, your good around children and plants and animals, good with their money, an abundant energy. So in the world in that way, but also in the world in worldly pleasures. So think lust, financial wealth, and that's that sort of spending energy, the sensual aspects of the 3D being, and that there can be a lot of good in that when it's coming from a balanced place, right? When it doesn't, it's not a codependent, you see that little tie between the man and woman there. It's not a codependent tie or a dependent tie on worldly things. So that stands out to me, but there's a tired energy surrounding this, along with a strength. And here we've moved beyond a choice, right? We've made a choice in our truth, but our person is exhausted. And that makes sense to me with the strength card here right next to the devil, because where there is the devil, there is the strength to overcome. And perhaps this is the cyclic nature of things, places, people, and things that we've encountered in the past that we've now evolved beyond. Addictions, habits, family cycles. And with that mother, that Queen of Coins, and this always reminds, it's related to the Empress, and that she fully embodies that mother energy, the Mother Earth energy. But with the Queen of Pentacles here, this is also related to Mother Nature and mothering. So there could be a strong family tie to this message. But definitely a lot of creative energy and the strength to step out on something new. I don't doubt that whoever I'm speaking through is going through major changes, right? And I say this because we have the 14 that reduces to 5, that's change. We have our Changes Oracle card, and then both the Season of the Witch and Inner High Priestess reduced to 7. So this is spiritual. So spiritual knowledge, spiritual intervention in our life and our choices. And with that earthworm here, again, we have that earthy message that takes something within them and creates new, right? Gives back to the world around them. And that's really what I see. Again, a very powerful mage, I'll just say mage neutrally, right? Whether it be a female, a witch or magician, however you want to say that. But we have Goddess, High Priestess, and Witch here. This is an incredibly powerful, evolved being here. And with the swan, I mean, that's really what that message is, right? The ugly duckling that grows and evolves and turns into that beautiful swan who, is a deep lover who finds their match and mates for life. A beautifully committed and pure. We see all this white, all this purity grounded within them. Now, that's not to say this person doesn't have a bite, right? Because, with white light energy, there is darkness, and that's kind of what these two cards next to each other speaks to. We have two very different water-dwelling animals. And one has got a serious bite, right? This is light and shadow to me. And again, more balance, some incredibly beautifully balanced energy that has surely come over a slow and steady period of change. And that's where we see this weary warrior, right? So just beautiful, beautiful energy. Kudos to you, beautiful being, for all the work you've done and all the work, inner work, and energy that you're embracing about yourself. Or maybe that's the change, right? Maybe that's the change moving forward that we see, is this embodiment of authenticity, of who you really are. And that is this powerful creator. There is so much magic on this table right now. Inner knowing, inner gifts. And I'm just going here, which tells me this message really needed to get out. But if this resonates for you, meaning something in you feels this is true, then know that you are protected. Know that your gifts are true. You're not crazy. You know, spiritual gifts show up in all sorts of religious texts, to include the Bible, regardless of the fact that we have, you know, a lot of pagan symbolism going on here. 15:15 on the clock when I said that. So, you know, and that goes back to the Divine Mother, right? The goddess that came before God, Mother Earth, in all the rituals that were in healing that were passed down through women, and really Catholicism as well, before that kind of puritanical Protestant way of being kind of took over, right? And please don't be offended if you are a Protestant. You know, I've identified as Protestant in the past. I just mean that there's a difference in terms of ritual and symbolism there. And Lord knows the Catholic Church did its damage on women, its war on women and witches. But what that brings me to is, just flowing out, the witch wound that we as women carry, having come from generations and generations of women that have been persecuted and killed and you know, controlled for our divine connection, our divine knowledge. And again, if that you are, you know, masculine in body, that doesn't mean that that wound doesn't exist, right? Because men have their own magic, their own feminine energy, but also in certain bloodlines there is the oppressor, the killer, the abuser, and that is not an attack. That is just the nature of bloodlines. You know, we as women have that. Everybody has something in their bloodline, and we pass that down. And with that 7 coming up here several times spiritually, you know, it's 7 generations. It's 7 years to create a whole new body. But also when that healing happens, when those changes happen, and we create something new from ourselves in our bloodline, in the communities around us, then that heals 7 generations. And you can look in indigenous cultures and find the number 7, lots of religious factors that spiritual number 7 resonates. So if you don't believe me, you can look that up and, you know, type in the comments what you think. But really beautiful, really powerful. And now I want to read on top of this. I want to pull a couple cards, and I think I am going to use, the Gilded Tarot and some Twin Flame Ascension on top of this. Just give me a second. I wasn't sure what I was going to pull out. I just wanted to go with it in the moment. So here we are. Spirit, tell me more about this beautiful, evolved, connected spiritual being. What do we need to know here? What do we need to know? Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Ooh, just shot out 7 of Swords. Ooh, choice and betrayal here. We've got a bittersweet win after a decision on the table. Ooh, 2 popped over. We've got Justice and 6 of Pentacles. So, this evolved spiritual being. Now, this can relate to a choice that you made or a choice that affected you, maybe a path, right, on that journey. And this is where we have our changes coming in, and our kind of tired warrior here who's gathering all their strength to move forward. there seems to be a bittersweet win, right? Because on one side we have the imbalance, the choice where we've moved through, and then we have justice, the balancing of the scales. But we also have Six of Pentacles, again, a balanced number, 6 right down the middle. And upright, that would be a balanced, wealthy giving. But here we see our fox again. So I don't know if that fox, it's come up several times now, but it's a cleverness and intellect. And perhaps this is the relation to the person here who's got all these gifts, but perhaps has been leaning on their intellect to drive decisions, and who's maybe not, I want to say, given back or shared the abundance of knowledge or wealth in a way that's fair to others. Or, just to be clear, we also have a situation here where this person has been deeply affected by a decision that was unfair to them, right? Where perhaps they were outsmarted, outwitted, and someone got the best of them, a bittersweet win. And that's really created a miser energy here. And if that's true, then know that justice is on the other side. There will be a balancing of the scales. And I feel the need to caution, because someone with this much creative energy and this much power, understand that your words, your actions, your intentions affect the world around you. And what you send out, you will receive back. Okay? What you say and do in anger, you will receive back. And I don't mean that to shame or blame or anything. And perhaps that's where that Devil card is coming out underneath, is the strength to keeping from lashing out, keeping from that bite, right? That powerful crocodile jaw. Because like I said, we have two different aspects here, shadow and light. I want to pull one more for center here. Please tell me if this resonates for you. Oh, I'll flip that over. 5 of Cups in reverse, yeah. Someone feeling despondent. Okay, so this is definitely giving me a little clearer message. And know that underlying is that creative energy, that powerful witch, wizard, divine being. But if you are feeling tired, you're feeling perhaps betrayed, empty, if you're feeling like your current situation is unfair, understand that if that is the earthly challenge that you are being put through right now, there are changes coming. And if anything, a great intention of that on the spirit side may be to challenge you to really be and embody who you are. And that is this deeply powerful and balanced being, right? There's a lot of balance in here, light and dark. We've got 2s across the board, 6 of coins. So whatever cycle, right? Cycle, it's here twice. Whatever cycle you're coming back around in, whatever changes you're coming back around in, this is for your greater good. See if you can see that there. The cycles. And I just happened to put them on either side, right? There's a balancing, right? And justice will be seen. Justice will be seen. But what's important when you are a powerful being is to understand that sometimes that means there's a time for action and there is a time for pause. And there is a time, especially coming back to that witch bloodline, if you've got magic in you, we have to take a step back and allow spirit guides to make things right. to punish, you know, and I don't like using that word because I don't want to put that out there, but everything that's done in the dark will come to the light, and he or she will make it seem right. Seem right. So just allow that to naturally happen. And kudos to you for having the strength, but know that this is all you, right? And it's normal to be angry, to dip into that dark side. That's why it's there. Now let's see what the twin cards have to say about this. Karmic purge. There's our sixes. 6-6 mirror reflections. So what this says to me about this, right, if any of this resonates to a person around you or you yourself, is remember that relationships are a reflection, right? We learn from other beings, and if someone is mirroring back to you some aspects, some maybe really toxic aspects, you know, then perhaps there's part of that in you that recognizes that you can sometimes have that energy, or that's something that you may need to heal about yourself. And this triggering comes up, you see all that red there, to purge it, right? So that we can come into balance. So just a thought there. Surrender to it, this dark night of the soul. So changes. So we have our cycle coming through 3 times now. So surely I'm speaking to someone who's going through something very challenging, and that's where we're seeing that strength. And what I said right off the beginning was kind of that toxic love story. And with 6s here, the devil, karmic purge, this could be a karmic relationship, family, friend, romantic, doesn't matter. But surrendering to whatever you're going through right now is part of your cycle back to yourself. It's what's going to help you heal and purge whatever wound, assuming that you learn the lesson, right? You learn the lesson, right? Then the scales balance. But if you want to get back at someone or treat them the way they treated you, this creates karma and the scales move, okay? You will come out of this. Ooh. Integration 6s, again, multi-dimensional healing. So here we have 2 sides of our story, right? We had our 6 right here, and it was imbalanced. We have our karmic purge, and then we have our integration. So see how it goes from red to pink, that healing? So we purge it, we bring it up, we allow the triggers to come up, and we surrender to the lesson. And then we integrate that truth. That's part of the healing process, and we come around and around and around again in the cycle, and it hurts less and less, and or the situation comes up again and we react to it differently, or we don't, right? And that's how I see that integration has or has not happened. So double 6s here, 6s, 1s, and 7s being our number of choice. But with the surrender, that 1, that magician, it's your option to create something new when the cycle comes around. And if I get you to hear nothing else other than you are a wildly powerful being, and I hope you recognize that about yourself. I believe you do because of the way these cards are laid out. Know that you have the power to create every single day, every single moment. One last card, and then we're going to close it up here. And that's how we transform. Battle of the head and the heart. And there we see that balance, coming into balance. We see the heart space open. There's the green again. And it's hard to have the green glow. Let me tell you. I've had my auric field examined, and I am green across the board. And Kermit says it, it ain't easy to be green. And that's when you're connected to your heart space, when you create from a place of love, Everything's going to come up with it. The good, the bad, the ugly. You can't choose to have your heart open sometimes and not others, and not have it affect you. It's just the management, the understanding that either grows with you or not. And the more it grows, just like the Grinch, the heart gets bigger and bigger every time you come through those challenges, every time you integrate a lesson. So, a really beautiful message here. I really hope this helps you. And I hope you let me know what you think in the comments.